Welcome back to class. Now, we said that when we resume, we are going to start by registering the company. So how do we do that? So once you get this information, you are going to open your QuickBooks. So the company name is Cassis Craft. The email address is, forget the email address. The email address is just, it doesn't exist. It's not real. The phone number is my phone number. For people that may want to reach me out on WhatsApp, please, if you're setting up a company file, use the company's phone number or use your phone number as the accountant. But it is always advisable you use the company's official phone number, right? So all these are details you're going to be inputting in QuickBooks. So let's go open our QuickBooks. Now, if you open QuickBooks or if you open QuickBooks, this is not actually the first thing you're going to see. That is if you're installing it for the first time. Now, if you're installing it for the first time, this is what you're going to see. This is exactly what you're going to see when you open it. That is if you install it for the first time. I have already explained most of these commands, detail start, create, and options in our previous classes, so I won't waste my time going through that again. So I'll just click on detail start to start creating my company because I want to have everything. I want to input all the details of the company myself. I don't want QuickBooks to create any for me. I want to be able to remove the ones I don't want and add the ones I want. Alright, so let's go ahead and start creating. So the first thing we're going to do is the name of the company. So the name of the company is Cassis Craft. So Cassis Craft, that's the name. It's also the legal name. Now, this tax identification number, we're going to leave it blank. Yes, because even here it says leave the EN number blank. That's here, it means employee identification number, so you can just leave it blank for now. Now, the company email address is this. Sorry, company email address is this. So we're going to copy this, then open our QuickBooks and paste it where we are seeing email address. Then we have the website. All right, so this website too is not real, so don't go typing the website to see whether it will come online. So it will not come because it's not real. Now, the address. What is the address? Address is also very, very important if you're using QuickBooks, especially if you're using QuickBooks online. Now, this address will help you determine where your tax location is. The address will help you determine where your tax location is. So in the case of Nigeria, once you type Nigeria, it will automatically tell you that, okay, this is the location where your business is based, and it will give you the options for when you go to setting up your tax. It will now select, because QuickBooks knows every country's tax or regulatory authorities. Now, when we are talking about tax in QuickBooks, the tax we are actually referring to is GST, sales tax, or VAT. Some people call it any of these three names. Some of the countries call it any of these three names. So either GST, sales tax, or VAT. So here in Nigeria is VAT that we know it as. So in US you may know it as sales tax or whatever name you may know it as. Alright, so address is very important, like I said. So we have city. Our city here is Enugu. So our state here, because we don't have options for Nigeria here, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave it blank. Now we have place for phone number. This other country I can put others. Place for phone numbers. So phone number, like I say, this is my WhatsApp number if you want to reach me and ask me a question. Anyway, you're going to be on the platform where you have the opportunity to talk to me one-on-one. Alright, so after filling all this information, you are going to just click next. So when you click next, it's now asking which industry does your business fall into. So our business fall into art, writing, and photography, right? So this is what we're going to do. We just click this. Now, the essence of selecting this business, because we want QuickBooks to import chart of account, or to give us option for chart of account exactly for the kind of businesses we are doing, right? So that even though there will be changes, it's not going to be more changes like that. So that is it. So let's go ahead. And again, if your kind of industry is not here, which I doubt, if your kind of industry is not here, so you have two options. if you're based on a service, if your business is based on service and general product-based businesses, you can select general-based product businesses or general service-based businesses. So you can just select any of these options. But I doubt if your business line is not in these industries. So if that is the case, you can use any of these options. But for us, we know that our business is based on arts. So our art is our industry, so we just click arts, writing or photography. So once you do that, now what is the legal status of the business? Now the legal status of the business, the company type is sole proprietorship. The company type is sole proprietorship. So this is sole proprietorship. So you just click sole proprietorship and just click next. Now what is our fiscal year? Our fiscal year, remember that the business the business operations started the process of integrating this business in 1st January, right? In January. So that is what we're going to do. That means his fiscal year is going to be January. So January is our beginning year. So let's go ahead. So let's click next. Now administrative password is optional here, but it will get to a point where QuickBooks will have to restrict your access until you have you add this administrative password. Now all these are control measures so that you can be able to control who have access to this application and where. So that is important. For now we are going to skip it. But in our community group where we'll be interacting, if you encounter any challenge, you can just reach out to us, reach out to me and my team. We'll be ready to assist you in every way we can. So after all those processes, you are now about to start creating your company. So you have to look at it. So when that is done, you click next. Now if you look at it now, QuickBooks is now asking you, when you submit your files, when you submit your filled form to the Corporate Affairs Commission, they find an archive or they find a file to document your information. So that is what QuickBooks is asking us to do. Now I have already created a folder named Cassis Craft in my system, in my computer. So when I select it, it brings out these options, though it's not automatic. But if that is the case, if it's not in that folder, you can always refer back and select the folder where you want that to be. So if you click here, this is Cassie Craft, the folder, and you also click open. So this is the name we want to save this company with. So the name is Cassie Craft. So Cassie Craft is the name of the company. So we're going to click save. So when we click save, it will start the process of registration and going through processes of approval. So that is just what is happening on the background. It's going through the processes of approval, checking our entries, are they correct, are they in line. Then when that is approved by Corporate Affairs Commission, that is when we hear that our business has been approved for registration, final registrations, or have been approved for operations and as a licensed business unit. Okay, that is what it simply means. So on the background, you can see some information. I have some things displaying. Now, if you look at the heading here, you can see that the name has been created in QuickBooks. So it has already been entered in QuickBooks. A file has been created. So now we have the liberty now to customize our QuickBooks. So this is where we are going to remove or add some things you may need. So let's go ahead. Now, what do you sell? What we sell both service and product. If your own is based on product only, you can go ahead and select only product. If it's based service only, you can go ahead and select service. But I like the fact that I have the option to select both, because most of the times we render after sales service to our customers. So, and those after sales service, we tend to earn from it. That is where the option for other incomes comes in. So it is usually good to go for the both. So now here we are again. Once you click next, you have the QuickBooks is now asking you, do you charge sales tax? Of course you charge sales tax. You tick that yes, and it's also recommended. Now, do you want to create estimate in QuickBooks? I don't think I need this, but if you have the need for it, you can go ahead and leave it. Or if you want to see what it does, you can go ahead and leave it. But I don't think I have any need for it. Do you want to track customers' order? Yes, I want to track customers' order. Do you want to track sales orders before you invoice? Yes, let's just leave it. Go ahead. Now, using QuickBooks Estimate, you can go ahead and leave it, or you can go ahead and turn it off. So what does that mean? Anything you don't know what it does, you can always read about it. Billing statement are sent to customer to list charges accumulated over a period of time. Statement may be sent at a regular interval, as in a monthly statement or when a customer's payment is past due. So you can just leave it as well if you want. Let's go ahead and leave that. Now, do you charge progress invoice? There's nothing like progress invoice. We don't do progress invoice, so go ahead and skip that. Now, managing bills you owe. Do you manage bills you owe? Of course, you have to pay your vendors, so we do that. So we go ahead. Now, tracking of inventory. Do we track inventory? Of course, we track inventory. Why are you saying no? So let's go ahead and click yes. Now, it is also important for you to know that you may not turn out all these options here. You can still do them later. You can even, any options you need that you cannot see right now, or you don't think you need it, but in a later day you realize that you need that options. So you can always go back and turn it on. So, all right. So even when it turns off, or you can turn it off now and you see turn it on later. All right. So that is it. So do we track time in QuickBooks? We say no. This one we say no and go ahead. All right. So here again we have the options. Do you have employees? QuickBooks is a very small business unit. I don't think QuickBooks has any business with employees. So let's go ahead and say no and click continue. That's next. So once that is done, it is now time for us to review our account. That is our chart of account. The chart of account we want QuickBooks to import for us. Okay. So once you click next, so this is our beginning day accounting. The QuickBooks is trying to ask you which day in the year is your fiscal year. So if you say beginning of January, every other transaction, everything will follow suit. If you say use the dates, use today's date, that's the day you're setting up this company, you're setting up this QuickBooks account, you can use that. But if you don't want, again, you can also choose another different date, right? So that is it. But for the sake of what we're doing, we're going to say the beginning of this year. Okay, that's our fiscal year. We'll go ahead with 1st January. So click next. Now this is a review of our chart of account, how our chart of account is going to look. So we have the sales, we have the subcontractor. I don't think we need this, we don't need that. So any chart of account we don't want or we don't need, we can always remove, and we can add charts of account later. So this bank charges, we need it. Okay, this computer and internet expenses, I think we also need it. Okay, that would be for our utility in one of the chart of accounts. You can see that. So this dues and subscriptions, we don't need. Equipment rental, we don't need. Insurance, we don't need. So I only import the ones I know. I'm doing this because I'm already familiar with the chart of account. Of course, the chart of account we're going to be working on, I'm already familiar with it. You can leave it the way it is, and that is why I always advise that you set up your chart of account the way you want them to be imputed in QuickBooks. So this one too, we can leave this and edit it later. Professional fee will leave or remove. Rent expenses, repairs and maintenance. So you can leave or you can remove any other thing you don't want. So let's go ahead. Travel expenses, this utility, we can still leave utility because we're going to put other things under it. So this ask my accountant, we can also leave this. We can also remove. Once you select the charts of account you want to see, or if you don't know which one to use, you can just import everything at once. All right, you can import everything that QuickBooks recommended for you. Once that is done, you can just click next. All right, when you click next, that's the final stage for QuickBooks to start operating in your system. So when you do, you can see QuickBooks is already congratulating you because you have successfully set up the QuickBooks and review the setups, the accounts that you needed. So once that is done, you can just go ahead and click go to startup. Now go to startup. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to explain a few things again on that setup. All right, I'm going to explain. In fact, let me do it right now. Now if you check in our previous videos or in our previous classes, there is an explainer video I did, and that explainer video is particularly talking about this window you are actually seeing. What you're actually seeing right now is what that explainer video is talking about. Remember, I promised that on this Milestone project I will show you how it operates, how it works. Now, having known that we have set up QuickBooks and it is now working now, we have it in our system, so we don't just start selling, we don't just start doing things with QuickBooks. We have to add people we do business with. One, what are the people we do business with? Our customers and our vendors. These are the two most important people in our business line. Okay, so our customers and our vendors are the two most important people. Customers are the people that buys from us, and our vendors are the people that supply to us. All right, that's the people we buy to. So now, add the people you do business with. So you can just click here and add everybody you do business with. If you already have those people in Excel, this is an opportunity for you to just upload those things. So we have the option to upload from Excel, or different options to import those files. You can upload import from your Outlook, you can import from your Yahoo Mail, you can import from your Gmail, you can also import from Excel, which is the commonly used one, or you can enter manually. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to click on enter manually or paste from Excel. Once you do that, you click next. Now, if you look at here, we have 3 basic tabs. So that means you can add a customer, you can add a vendor, you can add an employee. Okay, so I want to add a customer. So our first customer is going to be, let's say, this person. The company name may be Omi Networks or any other name. So it can just go ahead. Let's say this is our customer. You fill all this information, you can just so I can put all this. So these are addresses and everything. Once you do that, you check customer. We have vendor. So the vendor's name is going to be so you put the phone number, the company name, you put all these details. Once that is done, then you now select if you have employee. Of course, we don't have employee, so you can just go ahead and click continue. You can see we have contacts are ready to be added. So once you continue, if you have anything to fix, you see the problem here, so you can go ahead and say okay. So one customer and one vendor has been added. So you can now also add your products. So if you have your product, you can add your product. I've already explained what inventory part item is and non-inventory part item is. So you can go ahead and review the previous sections and see where you are lacking, or if you need further explanation on that. So but basically, any option you click and see, you can see the definition of what that thing does. Product you sell but do not want to track how many you have, such as material for a job. So this one too, you can see all these definition. Product you sell but you don't want to track how many you have, such as material for a job. So all these things are things you can just go ahead and do on your own. So that is basically it on this particular window. I said I did an explainer video too. I said I'm going to show you real life on the Milestone project. Okay, so that is it. So when that is done, okay, let's say we want to add the inventory item here. It's what is the name of the inventory? We say let's say custom arts, right? Let's just leave it like that, because we're still going to put the price. We're going to put other things later. So let's just say that is what I want to add. But you understand what we are doing here right now. So we have the price, we have the manufacturer's part number, we have the cost, we have the quantity at hand if you don't have it. Now I will not go ahead and do this, because if I do this right now here, it means I want to follow the template, the manual we already have as a guide in setting up these applications. So that is why I'm not going to add this inventory item, because it will mean after adding it I have to go back and do some adjustment again to it. I don't want to do that. I want to do it everything at once. I want to just do everything at once without going back and forth on that. So I'll just click cancel. But you can add your inventory items from here as well. So you can also add your bank details. You can add your bank details from here. So how do people add bank details? You can add a bank name and maybe 4 last digit number of that bank for people that have multiple bank accounts. Okay, that is just it. So once you are done adding all these items, you can just click start working. So once you click start working, this is what you're going to see. QuickBooks have successfully installed and you have set up a company profile in your system and for QuickBooks, either online or QuickBooks desktop. So it is basically the same process. Okay, so when we come back, we are going to also review some company information or some information relating to company for the company we are trying to implement this system for. So once that is done, then we can go ahead and start implementing the implementation proper. So we are just done with one phase of the activity required of us.